Okay, so we're live. Here's our warm-up problem. Two ways we could have approached this. Ava, what did you see to do?
Well, I did P over Q.
Okay, she did P over Q. And what is P? Factors of what?
-5.
And Q is factors of?
1.
1.
Yeah.
Because leading coefficient is 1. The degree is 4.
Yeah.
So what are the factors of 5?
1 and 5.
So those are really your only possible rational zeros, right? Okay, so what did you do next?
And then I put it in my calculator.
You put it in your calculator. Okay, did you guys all do that? I'm going to do something once before I clone this page. Did it clone? Okay, so let me come back here. She put it in her calculator. So she went here and she put in x to the 4th minus 5x to the 3rd plus x minus 5. And when you graphed it, where did the zeros appear to be at?
-1 and 5.
-1 and 5. Okay, so which one did you test first?
I did -1, but then it didn't come out with 0, so then I did 5.
Okay. You did -1 and it didn't come out, but it should have.
Okay.
So let's try -1. Okay, let's see what you did wrong. When you put in -1, what numbers did you put in here?
1, -5, 1, and
What'd you miss?
Oh, 0.
1 and -5. Let's try this now. What do you bring down?
1,
Multiply,
-1,
add,
6,
multiply,
6,
add,
6,
multiply,
-6,
add,
-5,
multiply,
5,
add.
0.
Okay, so did it work?
Yeah.
So what is this as a factor?
X minus 1 or X plus 1.
X plus 1, and you started with x to the 4th, so this would be x to the 3rd minus 6x
Square.
plus 6x minus 5. Okay, does that factor at all? No. So what'd you do next?
Oh,
Next you could use what? You tried -1, so now you do what?
5.
5. And just so you guys know, this does happen on the quiz tomorrow where you have to do it twice. There's one on the practice quiz as well, so you guys will get another chance to do this. So bring down the 1, multiply, you get 5, add,
-1,
multiply,
5, or -5,
add,
1,
multiply,
5,
add,
0.
0. Okay, so we had the x plus 1 at the top. What did this factor into?
X minus 5.
And then this gave me what?
X squared
X squared
minus 1x
minus 1x
plus 1.
plus 1. Now, does that trinomial factor, what multiplies to give you 1, that adds to give you -1, does that factor? I did turn it off. I had my cheater heater on. I didn't hear it now when I didn't realize I turned it on. All right, does that factor? No. So what do we have to do then to solve this one? We have to do the what? Quadratic formula. So x is equal to the opposite of b, so that's what?
1.
Plus or minus the square root of
-1 squared plus 4
minus 4
or minus 4 1 times
all over 2 times 1. Okay, so I know I've got 1 plus or minus the square root of something all over 2. What's the something? Well, -1 times -1 is 1. 4 times 1 times 1 is 4. What's 1 minus 4? -3. Can't leave a negative under a radical, so how are you going to write this?
1 plus or minus I radical 3
All over
2.
2. How many solutions is that? 2. We don't see them on our graph because they're imaginary. They're not real. What does this one give you, everybody? And what's this one give you? -1. So did I get all 4 solutions? And I should have brought that up at the beginning. How many solutions did we expect to have? 4. Always double check that at the end. That's a good problem. Now, did anybody see a different way to do this problem? Yeah. What else are you, Landon? What did you see? Yeah. Guys, what can we pull out of these two? X cubed. What do you have left? X minus 5. What can we pull out of these two? What do you have left? So what did this factor into? X cubed plus 1 and x minus 5. Now, x cubed plus 1. What do you guys recognize about x cubed plus 1? Sum of cubes. This is what cubed plus what cubed? X and 1. So this becomes what using the SOAP formula? X plus 1, x squared minus x plus 1, and then don't forget the x minus 5. Now, is that the same thing factored form we got on the other way that we just did with Ava? Right here. Yeah. Okay, and so then you would take that trinomial x squared minus x plus 1 and still do the quadratic formula, and we would get the same answers. Okay, so you could do it either way. Either way. Good job. Questions? Okay, homework. You guys said on the homework that you did not like number 4. Is that right? Okay. There's lots of different ways to do this. I'm not loving that negative is there. I'd probably take that out. I don't know if I did that on the, did I do that on here or not? No, I did. What's my GCF? What's my GCF that I could pull out of this one right away? By the way, how many solutions will this have? 6. What can I pull out? Leading term is negative, and what does each term have? X to the 4th. So I'm going to pull out a negative x to the 4th. When I do, what do I have left here? 2x squared. What do I have left here? Positive 8x. And what would I have left here? Positive 1. If you don't believe me, redistribute. That gives you negative 2, x to the 6th, negative 8, x to the 5th, negative x to the 4th. Now, you have to be careful. This is a binomial. A trinomial that is degree of 2, which means it's quadratic. You could try to factor it, but I'm going to do 2 times 1. There's nothing that multiplies to give me 2 that adds to give me 8. So what could you do? Yeah, just do the quadratic formula. X equals opposite of b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. So that's where I got negative 8 plus or minus the square root of something over 4. That's 64 minus 8. Did you guys get 56? Did I do that right? Yeah. Okay. So now that we got 56 there, what'd you do next? What does 56 break up into? 4 and 14. So if you think about the square root of 56, breaks up into 4 and 14. So that's 2 square root of 14. So I just said, okay, this is negative 8 over 4 plus or minus 2 square root of 14 over 4. What's negative 8 over 4 give me? Negative 2. What does 2 over 4 reduce to? 1/2. Now, you could either have it like that if you have the 1 up there, that's fine. If you have 1/2 square root of 14, that's fine. Now, what does this give me? When I set that equal to 0, what do I get? 0. How many times did you get 0? Well, you have a negative x times x times x times x. So how many zeros did you have? 4. So this one, this is your answers. This has a multiplicity of 4. And then here's your other 2 answers. So if you graph this, I'm going to assume it bent at 0. Did it bend at 0? Yeah. Okay. Questions? Did I answer that one? That one was kind of weird. That one was definitely a weird one. Did you guys, do you guys still need 8? Or do you feel good about 8? Still need 8? Okay. So on problem number 8, how many solutions will I have? 4. I know I have P over Q. P over Q is 30 over 1. So it's just roots of 30. So that's plus or minus 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15, and 30. I think I got them all. Did you guys get your possible rational roots? Then what do we do after that? Plug it in. Go to your graphing calculator. Plug in x to the 4th plus 5x to the 3rd minus 7x squared minus 29x plus 30. Hopefully I got those all in right. Ugh. Okay, so where do the possible rational zeros look like they occur? Well, this looks like what? 1 and 2, and what else? Negative 3 and negative what? 5. Are those all in my list? Yeah. Okay, so Jill, which one do you want to start with? Which one did you start with when you tested these? 3. Okay. Negative 3? Okay. So when you start with negative 3, what goes on the inside? I got 4, 3, 2, 1. Constant, I don't have any zeros, so what goes on the inside?
7, negative 7, negative 29, and then
Okay, so bring down the 1. Multiply, you get what?
1, no, negative 3,
Add.
negative, no, 2,
Multiply.
negative 6,
Add.
negative 13,
Multiply.
negative 30, no, 31,
Add. Multiply. Add. 0. Okay. So the factors of this would be, let me get rid of this here because this is in my way. All right. So the factors of this would be x plus 3, and then since I started with the 4th, this would be x to the 3rd, 2x squared, 13x plus 10. Okay. Can't do anything else, so now pick another one. Which one do you want to use next? 1. So I'm going to do 1 with these numbers. Do you see how I'm doing that? So now bring down the 1, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. Okay, so now I had the x plus 3. This factor becomes what? X negative 1. And then you started with x to the 3rd, so this would be 1x plus x minus 10. So now I'm going to say, okay, I have a trinomial. A is 1, like it's easy. Is there anything, Jillian, that multiplies to give you negative 10, that adds to give you 3?
You have the opportunity for some bonus points
5 and 8.
by making
5 and negative 2.
related.
What's 5 times negative 2? Negative 10. What's 5 plus negative 2? Yeah, 3. Okay, so now I'm just going to do this. X plus 3, x minus 1, x plus 5, x minus 2. When you set them all equal to 0, what do you get?
Negative 3,
Negative 3, 1,
negative 5,
negative 5. Did you get all 4 zeros? It's a good problem to do too. All right. How are we feeling? How are you guys doing on these ones here? You doing okay? All right, any other questions? 1 second, Will. Let me get them started and then I'll be right with you. Okay, so you have a quiz tomorrow over 2 things. Solve by factoring and irrational roots, fundamental theorem of algebra, what we just did right now. Okay, you have an imaginary solutions. I'm going to pass out right now your practice quiz. How close is this practice quiz to your quiz tomorrow? Very exactly. Okay, there are 5 questions on this. How many are on your quiz tomorrow? If it's a tricky thing on here, will it be a tricky thing tomorrow? Yes. Okay, I have the answer key posted. I think. I'll double check, but I think. Okay. You guys can get busy. Let me make sure I have that posted for you guys. I should. Yep, study. Yep, here's an extra blank one if you want to do it again. Print it off, and then there's the answer key. So if you guys have any questions, come see me. You have the rest of class time to work on that. I'll be around to help. You may. All right, and I'll stop that. Oh, okay. That's all right. Yeah.
As soon as you gave it to me, I'm like,
You got it
I
back.
just have, because when you talk the other way, and I just, that, like,
Okay.
in my mind, I'm like,
Yeah. So what are you doing?
Yeah, because when we started learning that, I forgot how to do everything. So tomorrow, I believe I can do it on A. So I'm not doing anything. But in sixth period, I'm doing science lesson.
Okay.
So that's what.
Right. Okay. And then tonight you're going to
I to look over my stuff.
So what do you
Again.
Here's what I really
Yeah. I know how to do it. I just forgot how to do that.
So you go back, you know how to do this arrow keys.
Yeah.
Go back. This thing right here, and maybe even the
They just gave it a year.
It's right here.
Like if I lose, I'm probably last place.
Yeah. This is
If I win, I'm not.
If I lose, if I win, I.
okay. So you need
I'll get this stuff where it's
to really print out the
It was so easy when I first we started learning.
I dropped it and started doing it back
I
up.
tell you, it's hard. I know it's a great opportunity.
I dropped it and picked it back up. I picked it back up.
So, okay, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll get you a new copy. Lily, do you want to go back to study hall or do you just want to sit out there? Okay. All right.
But when you have X, so for this one, right? I got X squared minus 25. So you just turn that into X minus 50. See what
I just traded for 2 years ago. Or 5 negative.
No, or for like, not the one we did in class. But one that was
This year,
we had to draw.
Oh, I think.
I just traded.
They could do all for it.
They went too high. There. I traded away tomorrow for James.
What?
Absent today was Chloe